Hello and welcome back to the Realistic Practice Project. This is video 2 and I am Brian Little. I have a doctorate in flute performance pedagogy and literature, and as a professional classical musician and an educator, I'm a little obsessed with finding more efficient and effective ways to practice. This is the second video of the Realistic Practice Project, and we're going to tackle scheduling our practice time in this video. Have you ever Googled how to find motivation to practice regularly? Or maybe you've gone on YouTube and you've tried to find tips and tricks on how to practice, or maybe you stumbled across a productivity guru on YouTube who told you to plan your ideal day, and then you work towards that ideal day every day, or you plan your ideal week and you work towards always having that ideal week. And maybe you've tried to do that and you've never actually been able to follow through on doing that plan. Or is that just me? Maybe that's just me. But I don't think it is. I don't think that's just me. I think that's actually something we all do. YouTube and the internet at large is just full of productivity tips and tricks that talk about building your ideal week. I mean, look at this. Look at how many things pop up in YouTube when I search for productive scheduling. You could time block. You can try the Trident method. You can use a daily layout, a weekly layout. Have you tried AI? Well, don't use this system. Use this system. Use Google Calendar. Use Notion. Don't go digital. Use an old school planner. Make it look aesthetic. Why are we worrying about aesthetics? Why are we doing weekly? We should try bi-weekly. Maybe just do monthly. And on and on and on and on. And some of these productivity YouTubers are fantastic and have wonderful information and great recommendations for books to help you find a way to be productive that truly works for you. I do really love a YouTuber named Rachel in Theory because she encourages personalizing all of her advice, and that's what we do here on this channel. We personalize your practice schedule to you. Okay, I have to be really honest. I have a real problem with the advice of building an ideal day or an ideal week to find your way to amazing productivity. And I'm going to be incredibly honest here. I think this type of scheduling is trash. Throw it in the garbage. I don't know why. Because my ideal week, my truly ideal week, doesn't have any work in it. Why would my ideal week have work in it? My ideal week has nothing. It is unscheduled. I can do whatever I want. I'm on vacation. Oh, that's an ideal week, right? I was talking to my hairstylist about this video because I had my hair cut last week, and she was agreeing with me. She said, yes, absolutely. My favorite day of a week is when there is nothing on the calendar. I can have coffee at home. I can sleep in, have my coffee at home. I can get up. I can go to brunch. I can do whatever I want because there's nothing on the calendar. Does that make her a bad hairstylist because she doesn't want to style people's hair all day, every day? No. She's a great hairstylist. I love how she cuts my hair. And she enjoys doing it, but it's still work. You're a musician. You're a good musician, and you enjoy doing it. It's still work. Okay? I love teaching my students. It is incredibly fulfilling. It's still work. I love performing. I love practicing. It makes me happy. It makes me feel like I'm doing something that's important to me, and it's still work. Can you love your work? Yes. Can it be super fulfilling? Yes. Can you still need a break from it? Absolutely yes. So here at the Realistic Practice Project, we don't deal in ideals. Ideal schedules are something that are so rare. They are not something that's going to happen every day. So we deal in averages. So we're going to go over to the flat lay, and you're going to plan with me, basically. We're going to plan out my average week. My new semester with my students starts this week. So we're going to plan out what I'm going to do. Now, my schedules might not look like yours, but all of the things that we talk about you can also use to help build your average week schedule. Okay? So get your planner, get whatever digital planning system you use, whatever you use to help keep yourself organized, go ahead and grab it. And let's go over the flat lay, and you can see how I create an average week and find my practice times. Okay, so here is my planner. right? And the first thing I want to do when I'm planning for my average week is, what do I have to do this week for work? When do I have to actually be somewhere? Okay, that's step number one. Okay, so this week is a little different than my normal because I have some students who have other commitments, and so some of my lessons have changed. But in general, this is what I have to do this week. This is military time, so it takes me a second. Okay, so I know I have a student. I'm just going to use I'm just going to use initials for them, because you all don't need to know who they are. So there's Monday. And here's my Tuesday. There's that. And then that's my last one. So about 3 hours teaching Tuesday. Wednesday, I'm going to have a student here. And I'm going to have a bit of a break. And then I'm going to have a student there. Student there. Okay, so that's my week this week for teaching my own private studio here where I live in Conway. And then on Thursdays, I teach in a school. I have to be there by 8, and it's about an hour away. So I actually start my day about here. Okay. So I have to go to Searcy. And I'm going to just kind of draw a line all the way down to indicate how long I'm going to be there. Possibly all the way to there. Okay, and I know I have a student, private student there, and I think I will probably have a private student there. Okay, so basically in Searcy, I have to go by 8 a.m. and I do sectionals for the high school band. So I see high school students early in the morning, and then I have a bit of a break. I talk to the band directors, I have lunch, and then I teach 7th graders, I teach 8th graders, and then I have some private lessons, and then I do some after school work with the high school students as well. So this is an all-day activity. And then this week, let me check. I think this week I don't really have anything on the weekend, but I know Saturday is all region auditions. So I'm going to put that up here because I will probably want to be available to my students via text message on Saturday. And they usually text me when they're super excited about stuff. On Monday, I have an application due, which I'm debating doing or not. We'll see. So this is basically what I have to do this week. This is stuff that I have to be at. I don't really have a choice. Okay, this is my work stuff. So now that we've done that, what are other kind of required things? Are there appointments? I don't have any appointments this week. I don't have to go see a doctor. I don't have a haircut. But I do, one of my other responsibilities is I have to walk the dog. And we walk every morning, usually around 7-ish. So I walk Penny. It takes about 45 minutes. So I give it a whole hour block in here. Because she takes a while, because she has to sniff literally everything. Obviously, I don't walk the dog on Thursdays. My husband does it then. But I will walk her Friday. She does not change her schedule for weekends because she hates me, apparently. I don't know. But there is no sleeping in this house anymore. She has expectations. Okay? So that's kind of my basic week. Right? Without any of like the home stuff that I have to do fit in there. So now what I am going to do is I'm going to take a highlighter here And I'm going to highlight blocks of time where I think that I will be able to practice, okay? And I'm also going to pick days where I think I can do average practice, where I think I'm going to do minimum, and where I think I might be able to do an ideal day. So I think Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are going to be average practice days. So I'm going to put A at the top here to remind myself. Thursday is a minimum day. I do play during the day, but I'm not doing a lot of practice. So I probably warm up with my students and then I'm playing with students throughout the day, but I am not really practicing. Friday could be an average day or a minimum day. This is a lot of extroverting. For me, it's a lot of extroverting for me. I am an introvert. I love being at home. It's awesome. So sometimes Fridays I'm very, very exhausted and I don't actually have the time. Like, look, I should have time for an ideal day. I don't have the energy for an ideal practice day. So this might be a minimum or an average. And then what I'm going to try to do is, I think on Saturday I'm going to try to do an ideal, and then on Sunday I'm going to try to do an average. Okay, so now my week consists of 1, 2, 3, at least 4 average days, 1 to 2 minimum, and hopefully 1 ideal day. Okay, because I have a free weekend. Amazing. So now I'm going to highlight times where I think I can have some practice sessions. Okay, I'm going to put this under here in case there's some bleed through. So I think usually between like 10 and noon here. So I'm going to highlight this box right here. Okay. Usually in this time frame I can get a few 25-minute practice sessions, and then usually between like 1:30 and 3:30 I can kind of do that again. Okay. I'm just going to kind of color that in. It doesn't have to be colored in. Great. All right. So I would say 2 25s, and I would say at least 2 25s here. Hi, editing, Brian here. During the practice times where I have like 2 hours, but I'm planning to complete 2 25-minute sessions, I just want you to know that other times I am still working on stuff. I have some work that I'm doing on Finale. I am emailing. I'm reaching out to people about a recital that I'm working on. I'm doing some planning. So there's still work happening, but this video is just practice specific. But there are other things that I am doing during that time. Okay, so that would be, if I did that, it's a total of 100 minutes of practice, and that's about average. Okay, and it looks like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I can kind of do that. Same thing. Okay, each day. So I'll go ahead and do this. Doesn't have to look great. I'm reminding myself of that because I am saddened by my own artistic skills. It doesn't have to look great. It has to work for me. Okay. So same thing. 2 25s. 2 25s. And if I'm feeling motivated and want to do some extra practice time, maybe I'll do like an extra 10-minute or an extra 15-minute session. Cool. Awesome. Bonus. Okay, so Circe, and when I'm at Circe, I'm not going to be writing like specific times because it kind of depends on what I'm doing that day. Friday, I'm probably not going to put anything in the morning because, like I said, I'm pretty exhausted. So I'm just going to kind of do from like 1 until 5 is when I'm going to try to practice. Okay. And I think my goal is just going to be 2 25 minutes. So 50 minutes of practice during this time frame. And if I get 125, cool. If I get 2, amazing. That's still kind of in the minimum practice day area for me, but cool. It's some practice. Excellent. Okay, so on Saturday, I will be up. I think I might try to do my warm-up a little earlier on Saturday. So maybe between 9 and 11, I'll do some practicing. Okay, Okay, then I'll take a break for lunch and to kind of get ready for the day. And then I'll do another block here between 1 and 3. And then maybe do like between 4 to 5:30 or something right here. Okay, so this will be I like 25 minutes practice sessions because if you take a 5-minute break between them, you've taken just 1 hour. Also, that's about what I can do before my body starts to yell at me a little bit because I have an old injury. So I'm going to do 2 10 to 15s. My injury is fine now, but 25 is about my maximum if I'm really, really focused on practicing. I don't have a recital coming up, so I don't need to run anything. I don't need to make sure I run, an hour of practice, so I can break things up like this. Okay, and then on Sunday, I will probably do maybe this afternoon thing. Okay, because that's just an average day, so maybe I can be a little lazy in the morning, and then I can do some practice in here. So my goal will be 2 25s and 2 25s. Okay. So my average day is about hour and a half, 90 minutes to 120 minutes. Typically my average day ends up around 100 minutes if I can get the 4 25-minute sessions. If I feel like I need to do some more or I can do some more physically, then I'll add on like smaller sessions, like 10 minutes or something like that. So that's kind of my average week. That's what it looks like, right? I might take one of these as an opportunity for a rest day. It's going to depend on how I'm feeling. So maybe Friday, maybe I'm really exhausted. This is going to be my first full day back at Cersei since the break started. I may be super exhausted on Friday. Maybe I'll take that as my rest day and do something else instead. Maybe do full like actual rest, like take a nap, get some sleep. Or maybe I'll do that on Sunday. So one of those days could be an R. I'll put that kind of in parentheses. If I'm feeling it, if I feel I need it. Okay? So I have blocks of time where I am going to try to practice. I have not said at which times during that block that I'm going to practice. I've just said I'm going to try to practice during this block of time. And for me, that's really important. If I try to schedule my practice sessions, be like, I'm going to practice from 10 to 10:25. I'm going to take a 5-minute break. I'm going to practice from 10:30 to 10:55, and then I'm going to take a break. And then if I do that, I almost always end up being a little late. I miss it. I don't get to what I want to do on time. So by doing this, by just saying during this block of time, this is the goal to try and get these things, I'm far more likely to actually do that and sometimes even do a little bit more. If there's a day where I really don't feel like practicing, but I feel like it's really important for me to practice, I always start out with, let's do just your warm-up, right? If you do just a warm-up, you've at least done a minimum day. Cool. And usually once I've started, I can do something else as well. And so then I might end up practicing a full 25 minutes that day. That might be the only thing, but I've told myself all I have to do is a 10-minute warm-up. And then I can put it away and walk away and go do something else if I want. We need to be a little more gentle with ourselves when practicing. If you are not feeling it, if your head is not in it, if your heart is not in it, you are not going to learn it. And the goal of practice is to make sure that our bodies and our minds are able to remember the work that we are doing. Okay? So if we can remember that work the next day, then we can build upon it. But we have to make sure that we are in a good mindset. And so something like this has been really helpful for me because I don't have to be there at a specific time. It's just I want to try to get 2 25-minute sessions between 1 and 3. Cool, there's 120 minutes there. I have the opportunity. So if I started laundry and I needed to go change the laundry out somewhere in that block, that's totally fine. That type of flexibility is built into my average week. Okay? And some of these days, maybe I'll want to practice later into the evening. I try not to, but maybe I'll want to. Right? That flexibility is built into all of this. So there you have it. You've scheduled when you're going to practice this week. I've scheduled when I'm going to practice this week. You don't have to schedule minute by minute. You can just choose kind of a block of time where you feel like you're going to have the energy and the drive to practice during that time, and then create 25-minute, 20-minute, 15-minute blocks of practice. It all adds up. So now go back to your calendar and look and see where you have open times. Because those open times are now yours. That's yours. That's free time to do with whatever you want. That's your ideal time. You could take a nap. You could do nothing. You could literally do nothing. You could watch a movie. You could schedule something with your friends. You could read a book. That is your time to do with whatever you want. Okay? You've created your real ideal time in your calendar. So let me know what your average week looks like in the comments, and let me know if you've found ways to create the ideal time in our schedules, the time that is completely yours where you can do whatever you want. And I hope you did find some time for that, because you deserve it. You deserve it. All right, let's be realistic about our practice this week, and I'll see you in the next one. Say bye, Penny. Penny. Hey. 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 Say bye. Sorry. She don't care. Penny. You gonna say bye? You gonna say bye to everybody? Am I disturbing you? Oh, goodness. Ooh.